Jain everyone. I am Shruti Jain, Assistant Professor, MCA Department, Akgec Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. The topic that I am going to discuss today is Introduction to ER Diagram. This topic comes under the subject Database Management System and the code for the subject is BMC 204. The target students are MCA second semester students, first year. So coming to what an ER diagram is. ER diagram is basically a model which shows the relationship between different entities. Now, what are these entities? Entities are the real world objects which exist, which we can see, or even there are some intangible objects that can be an idea which has some properties. Suppose if we talk about this college, so every college will be having some employees who will be working. Every college will have some department where each and every employee is employed. So employees, the students, the departments, these all are the entities, whether they are tangible or intangible. So understanding the ER model is a logical design. ER model is a logical design which specifies that the entities are represented in the database. They have certain attributes. Attributes means the properties which identify an entity. For example, if we talk about the entity as a person, that entity will have the attributes like name, age, their Aadhaar number, their PAN number, etc. These all are the attributes for a particular entity. Now, when we talk about different entities, those entities need to be there with a particular relationship. So, that relationship is the relationship that we talk about over here in the ER model. So, coming to the components of an ER diagram, the first component that we have is an entity, which is a real life concept, which could be a person, the location, or even an idea. So, if we talk about school management system, there the entities could be the teacher, the student, car, pen, buildings department. These all are the tangible things which we can feel, we can see, and we can understand, we can see anything or touch. There are certain intangible entities also, like we have the account, video, etc. because they also have some attributes. Attributes is any property that exists in an entity. So, if we talk about an entity like a person, the person entity will have the attributes like the name, age, he'll have his salary, he'll have the address, etc. So, these all are the entities of, these all are the attributes of this particular entity. Relationship, when we talk about the different entities, there exists some relationship between each one of them. Like if we talk about, if we look into a teacher works for a department. So, when we are saying that a teacher is working for a department, the teacher and the department are the two separate entities and they are related with each other with the works for relationship. There are different types of attributes, the simple attribute, composite attribute. The simple and the composite attributes are, if we say that Aadhaar number of a person is there, that is a simple attribute because it cannot be further divided. But if we say the name of a person can further be divided into the first name, the middle name and the last name. So, all those attributes which cannot be further divided are the simple attributes. They individually are a single value. Those all are the simple attributes. But if they can be further divided into the first name, middle name or last name or maybe any other thing, those are the composite attributes. Similarly, we have the single valued and multi-valued attributes. Single value attributes are which take a single value like age of a person. That will be a single value. There cannot be multiple ages for a person. But if we say that the contact number of a person, that contact number could be a multi-valued because a person can have multiple phone numbers at their home. There could be two personal numbers, the office number or the workplace number, etc. So, that is the difference between single valued and multi-valued. The next attribute that is there is the derived attribute. Suppose we talk about the marks of a student. So, what we'll do, we'll have marks in 5 subjects. Those 5 subject marks will be the attributes of a particular entity student. If I want to calculate the total or the average of those marks, so that will be the derived attribute. I am deriving certain information from the already existing attributes. Those are the derived attributes. Stored attributes which do not change, that do not need any further change or update, like the date of birth of a person. So, date of birth of a person will remain same throughout the life of a person. That is why that DOB is a stored attribute. Key attribute is an attribute which identifies a particular row or a record, the entity in the whole set of that entity set. Suppose if we say that a person having this Aadhaar number has these things. So, that Aadhaar number is a key attribute because Aadhaar number is unique for each and every person. Similarly, considering a particular university, I take a roll number of a student and want to fetch the details of that student. In that case, that is possible because roll number is again a unique thing or a unique property of a student who has that roll number. Because we say that ER diagram is a pictorial representation, so we have some notations to show what an ER diagram is. The first one is the entity that we were talking about till now, the entity, the attributes and the relationship. So, any entity, suppose I have two entities, person, it will be shown in a rectangle. Then I have another entity, department. This will again be shown in a rectangle. These two are certain entities. Any entity which is dependent on another entity is a weak entity. It is represented in a double rectangle. Now, every entity has certain attributes as we have just discussed. Suppose this person will have the employee number, he'll have his name, he'll have the age, salary, etc. Similarly, if we say the department, we'll have the department number, we'll have the department name, we'll have the department head, and so on. So, every entity will have certain attributes through which we can identify that entity. Then, that entity which help us in recognizing a particular entity, that is a key entity or key attribute. So, key attribute, suppose this E number is unique for every employee or every person, that will be the key attribute. Similarly, the department number will be different for each and every department. So, this D number becomes the key attribute. Multi-valued attribute, where we have multiple values. So, if I talk about a phone number, so phone number of a person would become a, this becomes a multi-valued attribute. The derived attributes, like we just discussed, that derived attributes are the attributes which are derived from already existing attributes, that is shown with the dotted boundary. Relationship, again coming back, we have two entities, the person and the department. Now, this person works for a particular department. So, these two will be related with works for relationship like this. Then, if we have any weak entity, then the relationship between a weak entity and a strong entity will be denoted by a double rhombus. We have certain relationships in ER diagram. We have the cardinalities and the degrees. Possible cardinality is 1:1, 1:n, m:1, m:n. We'll see how these cardinalities are there. There are 3 degrees as well, the unary degree, the binary degree and the ternary degree while discussing the relationship in ER diagram. Let's take each one of them one by one. When we say that the number of entity types involved the unary degree. Unary degree means there is only one entity. And entity is related to itself. Like employee is a manager of employee. For example, here we have the diagram where employee manages the employee itself. So this is an entity where there will be one manager who will be managing multiple employees. So here the degree, the cardinality is 1:m, where we have one manager who is subordinating multiple employees. So this type of relationship is a unary relationship. One entity, the relationship. Entity is related to itself but with a different functionality. Here when we are going from employee to manager, two managers, then we have only one manager, because every manager, every department or a group of employees will be managed by one manager. So one manager manages multiple employees. Because this manager is a part of these employees only, so we do not need two separate entities for that. So this kind of relationship is the unary relationship. Then binary relationship would be where the employee is working for a particular department. Now here, employee is a distinct entity, department is a distinct entity, and they both are related with the works for relationship, as we have seen in this also. So this type of relationship is a binary relationship where we have two entities related to each other by a relation. So this is again a recursive relation. I just missed it in the previous one. So employee supervised by, that is what we saw over here. Now one employee supervises multiple employees. Now this employee will have multiple attributes. Binary relationship where we have multiple employees who are working for a single department. So here the cardinality comes out to be m:1. Where we have multiple employees, many employees working for a single department. So this is one department where multiple employees are working for a single department. So this shows the relationship between the two entities. This type of relation is the binary relation. The next type of relation that we have is the ternary relation. Ternary relation says a customer purchases an item from a shopkeeper. So customer, item and shopkeeper are three different entities which are related with the purchase relationship. So coming to the diagram, we have another diagrammatic representation where we have a doctor, a patient and medicine. These are the three entities which are related with each other through the prescription. That means a doctor can prescribe medicine to a patient. So doctor prescribed the medicine to the patient. All these three entities are related to each other by the prescription relationship. This is the ternary relation. The participation, we have two types of participation, the total participation and the partial participation. Total means, suppose I talk about employee who is a head of a department. Out of many employees, only one employee will be the head. Not all are participating to be a head of the department. So this is a partial relation where we have just one line going from entity to relation. That is a partial relation. One employee will be the head of one department. So not all employees are participating in this head of, but one or some of the employees. That is why it is a partial relationship. On the other hand, every department will be headed by some employee. Every department will be headed by an employee. That is why it is a total participation. So we'll have two lines over here. That is total participation. So that is again a binary relation, one-on-one, where we have the employee and the department, two tables, where employee has its attributes the employee ID, name, date of joining, skill set, etc. Department again has a department number, department name, location, head. Now this head will have the employee ID from here. So this is the partial relation and this is the total relation. Sorry, the participation. Similarly, while we are talking about the binary relation, we have 1:n cardinality for that, where a single teacher may teach multiple subjects. So the cardinality over here is 1:n. A single teacher is eligible to teach multiple subjects. So that is 1:n, where we have a table for a teacher, we have a table for subject. This teacher ID is a foreign key for, this teacher ID is a foreign key for the subject over here. Similarly, we have m:n relation where many students may enroll for many courses. So here again, we have the cardinality as m:n. So understanding everything in the ER diagram, that is over here. So this is the ER diagram of a bank which will summarize the whole of the presentation. Bank will have multiple entities, like every bank will have a branch, will have a loan section, will have accounts, will have the customers. So all those basic things which a bank consists of comes out to be the entities. So we have the bank, we have branch, loan, account and customer as the entities for the bank management system. Each and every entity, as we have discussed, has certain properties that we call them as the attributes. So bank has an attribute as the name, code and address. Branch has the attributes as the branch ID, name and address. Account has the account number, account type, balance. Loan has a loan ID, loan type, amount. Customer has the customer ID, name, phone number, address. These all are the attributes. Each and every entity will have a key attribute through which we can identify a particular entity. So bank entity will have the code as the key attribute, which will be unique for each and every entity. The branch will have the branch ID because this is acting as a foreign key for some other table. That is why it is shown in a dotted manner, but it is a key attribute for the entity branch. Similarly, we talk about loan. The loan ID and the loan type both are the key attributes. These type of attributes are known as the composite keys. Composite key attributes. So the loan ID, the loan type are the composite key attributes. Account will have the account number, customer will have the customer ID. So these are the key attributes. We have entities, we have key attributes. Now we want to establish a relationship between them. So bank and branch, every bank will has branch. So all the banks will have, or many banks will have many branches. It is a total relationship between the two, total participation, because every bank will have multiple branches and multiple branches will have banks. There is no bank which can have only a single branch, or some banks might not have some branches. So this is the total participation in both, where we have multiple banks will have multiple branches. But here we have partial to total, because every branch cannot offer a loan. There might be some branches which may offer loan facility. Some branches might not offer the loan facility. So 1:n, one branch can give multiple loan facilities, and not all loans will be offered by a branch, but all branches might not offer a loan. Similarly for account. Same for the customer. This loan can be availed by customer. So multiple loans can be availed by a single customer. Customer might not take a loan. All the customers might not take a loan. Accounts. Every customer will hold an account. That is why he is a part of that branch or a bank. So that is the total participation in the two. All the accounts will be held by customer. Now these customers have their own attributes. So this is just an overview or the introduction of how the AR diagrams are created. In future classes, we'll discuss more about the concepts related to DBMS. Thank you so much.